JamGM. I'm Steph Orpilla. I'm a developer relations engineer at Polygon. I just realized I never grabbed the clicker. User error. But I'm going to talk about developer experience at Polygon today. So again, I'm Steph. I'm in DevRel. I'm specifically a DevRel engineer. And previously, I was at Amazon, AWS, Sony, and some startups. So I come from a development background, and the developer experience in blockchain is something that I'm personally really passionate about. And part of why I chose Polygon for my current job is because of a really great developer experience. So I'm going to talk about all of the different things we're doing and how you can get involved today. So like I said, I was drawn to Polygon partly because of our mission, which is Web3 for all, bringing the world to Ethereum. And the more I've traveled for events and conferences, the more I hear stories from people about how they love Polygon because it's more accessible for both themselves and their users of their dApps. As you know, probably transaction speeds are really fast and gas costs are low. So the average person can afford to transact on Polygon, which is great because that way they can be part of the Web3 ecosystem in a way that's not as accessible on Ethereum and some other chains. So I like numbers, and these are some of my favorite numbers about Polygon. So we've had over 2 billion total transactions. We also have 172 million plus unique addresses for Polygon proof of stake. And we've had over 37,000 dApps deployed on Polygon so far. So those are all great numbers, but they're not as representative of our builders or our developers. So my personal favorite number is this next one, which is 197,394. I grabbed this number yesterday because I wanted the most up-to-date number to tell you all how many developers have already deployed a smart contract on Polygon as of today, or technically yesterday. Maybe that number's at that 200K today. But this is the number of unique addresses who have deployed a smart contract on the Polygon mainnet. So this is kind of a hand-wavy number for the number of developers or people who've built on the mainnet. It's probably a little higher because maybe 2 people collaborate on a smart contract, but only 1 address deploys it. But this is the number that I think about. And this is actually just a small fraction of the total number of software developers in the world in Web 2 and Web 3. I also looked at that number, and that's around 24 million. So 200,000 out of 24 million is less than 1% of developers who've deployed a smart contract so far. But I'm excited to see that number going up and up every single month. And even in the last year, it's gone up like I think about 100% from the year before. So it's cool to see more and more people starting to adopt building on Polygon. So I don't know if you all know this meme. It's Steve Ballmer, but he has this talk back in 2004, and he does this chant on a Microsoft stage. I see someone shaking his head. But this chant lives rent-free in my mind. He's like, developers, developers, developers. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? He stomps around the stage, and it's just this big Microsoft keynote. But I always think of that when I'm thinking about my purpose as a DevRel engineer, because it really does go back to the developer and empowering a really great developer experience on Polygon. So thank you, Steve, for that. But our leadership at Polygon also feels really strongly about Polygon being for developers. We're for developers by developers. So Ryan Wyatt, who's the CEO at Studios, said it's all about developers in the second line of this tweet. Amanda, who's in charge of some of our marketing, said, I regret building on Polygon, said no one ever. I've never met someone who's said that to me. And I hope I never do, but if I did, I would take that feedback and hopefully implement it into something that made our developer experience better. But going back to developer experience, these are the 3 main things that make us who we are, in my opinion. So the first thing is that you can use all of your Ethereum development skills when you come. So all you have to do is switch to the Polygon RPC to get started. All of the tools that you're used to as an Ethereum developer or a Solidity developer work out of the box, from Remix to Truffle, Web3.js, RainbowKit. All of that is seamless, and it's just a matter of changing your network. Again, we have faster transactions and lower gas fees, which makes our chain a great scaling solution for all of your users of your dApps, as well as you as a smart contract developer pushing to our mainnet. The contract gas fee is a lot less expensive, which I love. And the third thing is that we make a really large effort to connect both virtually and in real life with all of our builders. So I'm going to talk about kind of some of the different things that we do for that as well. But first, I'm going to start with the obvious. One thing we have is self-service documentation. So if you hear about Polygon on Twitter or the internet, you can go right to our docs and see essentially 8 different ways to deploy a contract. So to me, it's really important that we give developers different tools and options so that when they're deploying a smart contract, they can do it in their way based on maybe what their team is already doing or what they've seen done. And they can also learn an alternative way if maybe they've used Alchemy before and never used Truffle. So we have all of those different workflows documented. We also are really passionate about providing code snippets and also example dApps. One thing we do with our product team before they launch a new product is make sure that we have tons of different materials to give to developers. It's not really ready for launch if we don't have great documentation, tutorials, and example dApps so that builders understand how to actually build, because that's what we all want to do at the end of the day. We also have open source code. So at ETHCC in Paris, the Polygon ZK EVM team announced that they were completely open sourcing all of the different code for ZK EVM. And we've also done that with Plonky 2 and the PIL toolkit. So this is all code that's out there for developers to look at. I came from the corporate Web 2 world, specifically AWS, where most of our code wasn't open source. So builders didn't have the ability to go in and actually play with like protocol level code in the way that we allow people to do at Polygon. So that's something I absolutely love. The next thing we have is lots of different things through Polygon Village. So this encompasses kind of grants, welcome vouchers, and also a pre-accelerator phase. So once a builder has built something, either for a hackathon or as a side project, how do they take it to the next level? We don't always know that as developers, so I think all of these different programs are very helpful. With vouchers, you get ecosystem credits for things like Alchemy so that you can go beyond a free tier and start scaling. Our grants give different projects money to fund other different things they need. We also participate in Gitcoin. We just finished GR15, so we funded tons of different open source public goods projects. So really excited to see those grow this cycle. And then Village Wonders is our last thing. It's a pre-accelerator. We just accepted our first batch of projects. And those builders will be mentored by top people in Polygon, in marketing, just different mentorship across all different areas so that people get the expertise that they don't have on their teams. Another thing we do is Connect. So Connect is an event that happens in real life. We just did one in Paris and in Korea, and we'll also have a big Connect event at DevCon in Bogota this coming month, so I hope to see some of you there. I know we connected earlier, and at least one person in this room will be at our Connect event, so excited about that. But this brings local communities in and helps people learn about our ecosystem and also all of the dApps being built on top of Polygon. So that's kind of one of my favorite parts, hearing from builders who are actually building on Polygon and have these successful projects. So I love to check in at Connect to see how all of those are going. We also support lots of different hackathons. We just finished ETH Online this past week. And it was really exciting to see that 244 out of 360 projects built on Polygon. And we supported hackers during that. We looked at projects. We helped ideate, all of those types of things. And hackathons are really special because they get big groups of builders into a room, and we give them specific challenges to try to solve. And these are all real-world problem statements that don't necessarily have anything to do with Web 2 or Web 3 or a specific technology. We're asking builders to solve a problem and use Web 3 technologies for that. So we see really, really creative ideas that are built and hacked together in short periods of time. But it's exciting to see how those builders will use all of the resources I just talked about to scale and turn those into real-world projects. Another thing we do is support developer communities. So on the left, we have Developer DAO. Who's a Developer DAO member? Woo! I see a few. But we work with Developer DAO pretty closely to sponsor different events and things. We also work with Blue DAO, who is the picture on the right. And in Mexico, woo, Blue DAO. In Mexico, we did a hacker house with Blue DAO. And 2 of those projects that were coming from the Hacker House won the entire hackathon. They were on stage as finalists, which is huge, out of 12 finalist projects. And every team that was at that Blue DAO house won at least 1 prize. So it was just a really cool, effective way to see the community get a little extra support and then go out and build really cool stuff. Last thing, we have 49 Polygon guilds so far. I'm hoping that someone in this room will start a New York City guild and make that the 50th guild. But guilds are local communities of Web3 enthusiasts, and they organize different meetups and technical workshops and things. And part of how I know our community is so strong is that these guilds are just volunteers and enthusiasts. It's not anyone who works specifically at Polygon. And so seeing people that are willing to get together with their communities to organize these types of events is awesome, because it just shows that community adoption is huge, and people are bringing their friends to events to learn about Web3 and to build things even when someone from the company isn't physically present. So I love to see that. And I hope someone starts a New York City guild. Talk to me after if you're interested. But yeah, so just kind of in conclusion, those are all of the different ways that developer experience, both in real life and virtually, play into how we're building Web3 for everyone. So we have lots of different scaling solutions. I think most people have built on Polygon POS, which is our blockchain. But the big thing to look out for that I'm super excited about is ZK EVM, which is coming very, very, very soon. And also, we have Supernets, Polygon ID, Avail, tons of different solutions. I like to think of it as a big toolbox of solutions similar to AWS that empower builders to build whatever they're imagining on Polygon. And yeah, we're all going to make it. And in this case, I think that make means build it or develop it. So very excited to talk to all of you after this and hear about what you're making and building this year. Thank you so much.